I'm recording now. So, I'm sorry, not Jordan. Danielle, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and start.
We live in an era where artificial intelligence plays an increasingly prominent role in our everyday lives, from digital assistants to self-driving cars. As this technology continues to advance at a rapid pace, it is crucial that we consider implications of unregulated AI use in California for non-governmental and business purposes. With potential risks to privacy, accountability, and fairness, it is essential to explore and debate how AI should be regulated to protect the interests of citizens and ensure ethical and responsible implementation. Artificial intelligence has undoubtedly brought some incredible advancements and innovation in various industries, from healthcare to finance to transportation. AI has revolutionized the way we live and work. However, this incredible power also comes with great responsibility. As we have seen in recent years, the unchecked use of AI can lead to serious ethical dilemmas and consequences. From biased decisions making algorithms to manipulative data for profit, AI has the potential to cause harm if not properly regulated. It is imperative that we take proactive steps to ensure that AI is used ethically and responsibly in our society. By implementing regulations for non-governmental and business use of AI, we can protect the rights and freedoms of individuals, ensure transparency and accountability in decision-making processes, and create a framework for ethical AI development. Regulating AI is not about stifling innovation or progress. It is about setting boundaries and creating a guiding framework that allows us to harness the power of AI for the greater good of society. I urge to consider the importance of regulating artificial intelligence in California for non-governmental and business use. Let us come together to create a future where AI is used responsibly and ethically, benefiting all individuals and communities. According to the built-in article written by Matthew Irwin, the widespread adoption of artificial intelligence has promised to create new jobs and make workers more productive, but these changes have come with a cost. Since 2000, automation systems have slowly phased out many manufacturing jobs, 1.7 million of them, and white-collar jobs are now also at risk of being automated into ability. Oh, sorry, obsolescence. Here are some points on why AI regulation will help benefit us. Protection of privacy and data security. Regulation of artificial intelligence and non-government and business use can help protect individuals' privacy and ensure that their data is handled in a secure and responsible manner. Preventing and discrimination and bias. Regulation can help the use of sorry, artificial intelligence in ways that perpetuate discrimination or bias against certain groups of people. Promoting transparency and accountability. Regulations can provide businesses to be transparent about how they use artificial intelligence and hold them accountable for any negative impacts it may have. Ensuring ethical use of technology. Regulations can help ensure that artificial intelligence is used in an ethical and socially responsible manner. Fostering innovation. Clear regulations can provide certainty for businesses and encourage the development of new technologies in a responsible and ethical way. Jobs being replaced by AI. AI is replacing and will continue to replace some jobs, workers in industries ranging from healthcare to agriculture and industrial sectors. Good. Is it time?
Yeah.
Okay. You can cut me off whenever.
Okay. All right. Perfect. And then the questions start now.
All right. I would propose that putting regulation on personal AI use would actually stifle innovation instead of promoting it, for the simple cause of, if you're limiting the use to the general population, I think that that would limit the amount of discoveries or breakthroughs that small groups of people, unorganized groups of people would be able to come upon. Say if you're like use the internet as an example, if we were to limit internet usage to the general public, I think it would slow down um, the amounts of breakthroughs and discoveries that the general population could make, which leaves it all in the hands of large corporations and companies being the ones that lead the charge. When in reality, there's bright people that don't belong to those kinds of corporations and businesses. But that would be one of the arguments that I would make against that point.
Do I go now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
want to come back.
Yeah, sure. I can see what you're saying and I see your point, but it also, in a way, like, for example, for students who take advantage of like chat GBI, I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
But that may known and AI surveys students, like high school students, any students from K through 12, they take advantage of using AI instead of actually like doing the work themselves and finding out and being creative themselves and being innovative themselves instead of having to use an AI system to help them research this and help them advance them when they can do the work on their own necessarily, is what I would say to that.
All right, time for that.
Thank you.
And then Rim.
All right. Okay, so my name is Roman, and I am arguing against the placing regulations on AI use for non-governmental and business uses. And the three main points that I will be touching on is, firstly, regulations will stifle innovation in AI. Secondly, regulation opens the door to the invasion of privacy. And finally, there is no worldwide or statewide general consensus yet, which means using regulations here in California would leave us vulnerable in the race against AI innovation. So to begin, regulation will stifle innovation. According to an article on visualcapitalist.com by a foundation called Neoman Studios, the United States ranks only 16th in AI-related internet searches, with Philippines, Singapore, and Canada leading the charge. And according to cybermagazine.com, California has the fourth most AI-related searches in the United States, which is shocking because a state like Massachusetts is leading the charge, whereas California, with a much greater population and much more tech companies, we are fourth behind much smaller states. And this is crucial because California has the highest GDP in the country, which would mean that putting regulations on a state that has a large population with a large concentration of tech companies, putting regulations on those citizens would put us at a disadvantage and would make innovations come at a much slower rate. You could think of where Facebook, Microsoft, these things started. They started by individuals, small groups, and they didn't come from large corporations. We would be kind of putting a bar on that. And it also would raise a barrier to entry. It would only be exclusive to the large businesses, large corporations, leaving the general population who is curious about AI being able to use it only in a very limited sense, leaving all of the power in the hands of these large tech companies. Secondly, regulation opens the door to the invasion of privacy. So if AI usage were to be regulated outside of government and business use, this would mean that AI would be used on your personal devices, laptops, your phones, desktops, whatever your personal device would be that you were using AI on. If we were to place regulations on the use of AI on those personal items, you're leaving a door open for the government to constantly monitor your internet activity, personal information, and there's no telling what limits they would place on their monitoring. We don't know when they're monitoring, what they're monitoring, but all we know is that we are leaving a door open for them to constantly look at our activity and see what is going on our personal devices. And finally, there's no worldwide general consensus yet. Using regulations here in California leaves us vulnerable. Californians will be put at a severe disadvantage in the case that AI is regulated because there's no general consensus among the states or on an international level. The president of Microsoft, Brad Smith, is on record saying that the government would have to form an entirely new agency to implement regulations, which would cost our country a lot of money and drive us further into debt. And the implementation of a regulation system would be incredibly difficult. There's no one way to do it or a proven effective way to do it. And so there would be a lot of trial and error. There would be a lot of shutdowns. Secondly, because the government isn't able to organize and come to an agreement on how to regulate it, this would mean that it would be in the hands of the corporations. Google, Microsoft, Bing, these large corporations would be in charge of putting the regulations on AI. Now, one corporation isn't going to want to put themselves at a disadvantage compared to the other ones, so they're going to put the least amount of regulations possible. You say that was time?
Yeah, you're
Okay,
good.
okay.
All right, and 2 minutes for questions.
No questions.
Yeah, me neither, really.
All right, we can move on then. Jordyn?
Okay. Okay. Hello, my name is Jordyn, and I am for AI, or artificial intelligence to be regulated. Although AI has its significant drawbacks, its usage for non-governmental and business environments should be regulated since AI benefits the world in a variety of ways, including minimizing mistakes, improving productivity, supporting in the workplace, assisting in healthcare and medicine, and etc. I support artificial intelligence because it has the potential to reduce mistakes. For example, if a company seeks a specific result, it can utilize AI to obtain it. We experience this in our daily lives when we input a word into our phones and it automatically corrects it for us if we make a incorrect spelling or a grammatical issue. Shipping businesses have also have seen a significant decrease in shipping delays and shipping delays in their lost items, as well as being able to better carefully monitor the revenue, resulting in higher profitability and lower revenue losses. According to McKinsey and company study, a person spends approximately 28% of their day reading, writing, and responding to work-related emails, which amounts to 2.5 hours or 200 emails per day. AI helps reduce this time in a variety of ways. It can provide productivity by reducing repetitive tasks at work. In our everyday life, AI-generated systems can help students with proofreading, spelling, grammatical issues, as well as employees by utilizing services like chatbots to prevent answering repetitive questions and concerns that customers ask. And then customer service occupations have significantly been a profession where AI has been very useful. It has improved customer service jobs in 2 ways. For instance, in the days of contacting a company and waiting for someone to answer the phone are over. We are all often now greeted by automated voice that ask us questions to determine what department we should be transferred to. Later or after that first interaction, then we go through a waiting period, but most companies with AI generated systems will collect your phone number and ask whether it is okay to contact you again at that number when it is available or when an available representative is available. We also have the pleasurable experience with AI when we visit a website and we are asked if we need help by a small chat robot in the corner of our screen. This chat box relies on artificial intelligence to forecast, predict, and respond to frequently asked questions by customers. AI is beneficial since it helps reduce the need to communicate with customers, or AI is beneficial since it helps reduce the need to communicate with customer service or with customer service representatives, as well as it allows clients to obtain faster responses to their question and avoid having to wait until regular business hours. AI has greatly benefited both patients and professionals. People with diabetes, for example, do not have to get their blood drawn at a hospital to check their glucose levels. Geez. Patients may now monitor and track their levels by doing a prick test at home or utilizing a AI-generated device called continuous glucose monitor, which carefully monitors their blood glucose and provides immediate information through a mobile device. This type of AI technology has grown in popularity over the years since it has helped patients avoid frequent hospital visits, meanwhile offering real-time immediate updates. In a recent post by the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, it was said that AI is helping to manage medical and patient information more efficiently, precisely, and quickly. The reduction cost is one of the most beneficial uses of AI. AI can reduce expenses in a number of ways due to AI working nonstop to substitute an employee's labor, according to the Bain and Company's 2023 Augmented Workforce Report. Intelligent automation will lead to 21 to 30% cost reduction and a stronger focus on higher value labor such as problem solving, creativity, and communication. Because artificial intelligence can greatly assist with tasks like proofreading, customer service, computer programming, and data input, these occupations have been significantly reduced due to AI. Although although artificial intelligence can have many downfalls, it is extremely important we regulate the use of it so we can still use AI in the most effective way. And that's all.
All right. And Simran, you're up.
All right. All right. My name is Simran, and I think AI should not be regulated by the government for non-governmental and business uses. Uh, so I wanted to touch on something that Danielle brought up. It was something about like artificial intelligence being regulated to be ethically moral. I think that's kind of something that she said. I don't think that regulating that would be a very good idea because I, us as like humans, we can't get along and come in one place and say that this is ethically wrong or this is ethically right. We can't decide on that as like a group. How should like one government be able to decide, oh, this is ethically wrong, this is ethically right, if like a group can't come together and come to a decision and do it. Another thing that I think will be brought up is AI taking over jobs. So according to Forbes.com, AI can also create jobs in previously unexplored areas. Creation of AI requires machine learning engineers, data scientists, and other jobs like that, which are also well paid. Entrepreneurship is also a big thing that AI can help with. This will allow more work from home jobs and flexible schedules. There will also be indispensable human skills that AI will never be able to take over. For example, uh, like doctors or surgeons, for example. Like you wouldn't ever be able to trust like a robot to you wouldn't ever be able to trust a robot to do a surgery on you, right? You would ha want to have like a human there with you. So I don't think that it would really affect that many jobs. Also another area that I wanted to touch on was nuclear energy. Like for example, that was also like a big thing that was discovered that we thought that it can help us. But according to an article, Advantages and Challenges of Nuclear Energy, the public thinks that nuclear energy is more harmful than good, which is why it's so strictly regulated. Nuclear energy is actually the largest source of clean power in not just California, but also the United States. But most people don't know about that since all we really think about when we think about nuclear energy is like nuclear bombs, for example. We just think about how much harm they can cause. So we don't think of the good that nuclear energy can do, and we only think about the bad, which is kind of similar to AI. All of us, we all just think about the bad that AI can do, but not like how much good it can do over the long run. Uh, Also another thing I wanted to touch on was something that Roman brought up, like regulating AI will most likely only affect less powerful. Like the main reason we want to regulate AI is so it doesn't get into the and so it doesn't get into the hands of like quote unquote bad people. But if we start regulating, mostly it's always only like the good people who follow the rules. Like if you really want to break the rules, if you really want to use AI for bad, you're gonna use it no matter what, like how many regulations you place on it. So instead of regulating them, I think we shouldn't like I don't think we should like put that much put that many regulations on them just to keep the playing field even. Uh so like good people will also be able to use it as much as like bad people would. And also like for example, if we do start regulating AI for businesses, the big companies that California is really known for is like Facebook or like Google or Apple and stuff like that. And these companies, if we start if the government starts regulating AI and these companies can't use AI to the full extent that they want to, they have the option to move out, which would affect our economy, which would hurt our economy like big time. And we've also like another thing that was brought up, I'm pretty sure, was misinformation being spread with AI. We've also gone through something like this before, which I'm pretty sure all you guys are familiar with are like scam calls and stuff. When they started like popping off, we were all like, how are we gonna be able to tell what's true and what's not true, right? But we did learn through it. We're able to tell the difference, and which I'm pretty sure we will be able to do with AI. Like for example, if you see like a clip of a famous celebrity saying something controversial, you wouldn't like believe it right away. You should go and do your own research and like use critical thinking and stuff like that to see if that actually was said by that celebrity and get your own answers instead of like believing whatever you see on social media, which can be created with AI. So yeah, that's basically everything I wanted to touch on. That AI shouldn't be regulated for government and business use.
All right, perfect, Sandra.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sandra Azevedo, and I will be giving the closing statement for the pro side, which means that I am in support of the regulation of AI in non-governmental and business usage in California. I support all the points Danielle mentioned earlier, which included protection and privacy, preventing discrimination, promoting transparency and accountability, ensuring ethical use of technology, and fostering innovation. So you'll see some crossovers in our points that are similar. I also like to mention mine. I will verbally cite the source of evidence and state the author's first and last name, name of the source, and the year it was produced. I'll speak for 4 to 5 minutes to lay out my closing argument for the pro side of this debate. I believe the use of artificial intelligence should be regulated in the state of California for non-governmental and business use for the reasons that, one, just the general safety of the public. As stated in an article published in the Public Citizen by Robert Wiseman in 2023, it takes AI minutes to form a website that may seem legitimate by the looks and the works, but is not actually a real working website. Also, AI has the ability to create clips, as we've seen all over our social medias, as Simran had mentioned earlier, such as presidential campaign videos depicting candidates not being able to stand on their own feet or act as if they were under the influence of alcohol. And these types of videos get circulated all over the internet in a matter of hours and can spread harmful information and lies about organizations and/or individuals. Another reason for the regulation of AI is the fear of loss of human connection. Bernard Marr posted an article on Forbes.com back in 2023 where he mentions there are many people who feel AI communication and interactions could possibly be lessened and lessen empathy, human relations, interpersonal skills over time. Compromising these skills within the society can lead to more issues in the way we communicate with each other and the world. By setting regulations for AI, we can restrict society's usage and make AI a safer tool for business and governmental purposes, and avoid overusage in everyday life, keeping our empathy, relations, interpersonal skills intact for future generations, while also creating a balancing act to keep AI from becoming more dangerous as time goes on. Furthermore, the public security is at a very high risk. These security risks are increasing every day with the advancement of artificial intelligence and the constant growth within the tech field itself. These advancements could be misused by individuals or groups wanting to cause harm to the public, such as cyber attacks, bypassing security measures, and possibly more. So if left unchecked, AI risks will only increase and become unmanageable. According to an article published on desertsun.com by Catherine Palmer in 2024, a survey conducted at the University of California's Institute of Governmental Studies showed that approximately 84% of the residents stated concerns about misinformation and dangers deepfakes and artificial intelligence pose in future US elections. And 73% of those people agree that the California state government has a responsibility to act and protect the voters against possible threats. One last example of AI being a high security risk is the growing concern around cyber attacks. In 2024 interview with CNBC, MIT professor of engineering systems Stuart Madnick said, if you cause a power plant to stop from a typical cyber attack, it will be up and online pretty quickly. But if hackers cause it to explode or burn down, you are not back online a day or two later. It will be weeks and months because a lot of the parts are custom made. So these downtimes can be substantial. In the long run, I feel that AI and automation could possibly take over so much of what gives humans a feeling of purpose. Innovation will continue every day as it has been, but finding a way to maintain safe boundaries and regulations will create a safer space in the world while still allowing the advancement of AI. So for those reasons, I feel that the use of artificial intelligence should be regulated in California for non-governmental and business use to keep us safe and human. Thank you for your time.
All right, perfect. Okay, and my name is Keyra Hip-Aguilar, and I am arguing against the resolution. So in conclusion, we should not regulate AI for non-governmental and business use in California, as this can cause many unintended consequences that may actually lead us backwards in our efforts to advance and progress forward as a state. So as mentioned by Roman earlier, regulating AI will, 1, stifle innovation, 2, may lead to invasion of privacy, and 3, it can leave California vulnerable. So due to its complexity, there is no one-size-fits-all solution to AI. Therefore, as a citizen, I would be very much concerned with what the government would choose to regulate as opposed to not. They may regulate based on their own biases and not necessarily for the good of most people. And in most cases, because technology and AI is so complex and moves so rapidly, the government is unsuccessful in creating laws to actually regulate it. And so then this begs the question, about who will be making these regulations. And according to an article in Brookings by Tom Wheeler, chairman of the Federal Communications Commissions, thus far in the digital age in the United States, it is the innovators who have made the rules. It is entirely natural that such industry-developed rules would benefit their makers. So as Simran said earlier, if this is the case, this leaves California residents at the mercy of businesses who creates the AI. So this, I think, creates an even greater gap between the poor and the rich, because the businesses will have most of the control. And to add on, I think there's a lot of focus on the perceived negatives about AI, but I think we should also shed some light on the good that it really does do. And if we regulate AI, it could actually discourage risk-taking and experimentation by small groups who are doing the good with it. So for example, in school, AI can help students who are at a learning disadvantage. And it has also helped at medical advances, and it has created solutions for problems that would otherwise take a lot more time to create. And because the world is changing so fast, we want people to be risk takers and we want them to experiment so we can bring about change. Additionally, if California were to be the only state where AI is regulated, we would lose our edge in the technology department, and that would impact our economy greatly as well. So already we're seeing the negative impacts in Europe, in countries such as Ireland and Italy, who have not allowed AI, such as ChatGPT, due to general data protection regulation violations. And while those countries may think that they're doing the right thing, they're actually just encouraging investors from supporting their technology innovations, which is making them fall behind in the technology race. And eventually that's going to cost them a lot. Although these are countries, and we're talking about the potential negative effects of regulations can pose on the state of California, I think it still shows the implications it will have. So tech companies could potentially move out of California, and we will no longer be the global leader of technology. And because California is such a powerful and leading power in technology, it can potentially impact our position as a country in the technology race against other countries. So while I understand that introducing AI is like introducing a million unknowns, it is very similar to every other huge technological invention that has increased productivity, quality of life, and brought about change in a positive way. And yes, I also understand that there are fears that it may make spreading misinformation and scams easier. But as with everything, we will adapt. And I think it would be best to have a hands-off approach and let California adapt to AI, much like the rest of the world is. Otherwise, as mentioned earlier by Roman, it could leave us absolutely vulnerable to even greater threats by the government and businesses and potentially other countries, because we don't know what they're doing with AI. So to conclude, the three major points of our argument have been that regulation of AI in California can stifle innovation, it can lead to invasion of privacy, and it can leave California vulnerable. Thank you. All right.
That was much better than yesterday.
Give ourselves a hand.
Yeah,
Let's go.
we did good, guys.
Yeah, I thought it went very well. Great job, everybody.
Smooth writing.
Hey, Kira, did you by chance write down our times? Was I around the 5 or still far?
Oh no, you were good. You were at 4:38, 4:40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you're
me
20 seconds off.
Me-
Jordyn, you were at 6:30, so a little bit over, 30 seconds
Okay.
over, but you got the 6 minutes. And then Danielle, Roman, you both hit 4. Simran, 5:30, 30 seconds below. Not bad.
Cool. All right, so that was just the practice one. We'll do the real one maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, you're funny.
I was like, oh
I'm
no.
going to bed.
I'm like, I'm trying to sleep. I'm half asleep now.
Oh, that was a good
Okay.
one.
Then I'll stop recording and I'll send this to